Sick.
All right. Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you live from emosocialclub.tv. I am Brian.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're here this evening with our new friend Veronika of Pop Punk Takeout. Thank you so much for coming on and talking with us tonight.
Thanks for having me. This is exciting. This is probably like one of my first interviews. So this is cool. It's exciting.
Oh yeah.
So.
We know you were. Well, we're gonna get to all the stuff you've been doing because it's been quite a year for you, and we'll talk about it. But I know you've been working with our buddy Jacques from
Yes.
Pop Punk Pizza Pod.
Pop Punk Pizza Pod.
Yeah.
He was one of the first people to kind of find out about Pop Punk Takeout. I guess I'll introduce Pop Punk Takeout.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Sick. Yeah. So, hello. My name is Veronika. I am one of the co-founders of Pop Punk Takeout. It's a monthly box that features merch by pop punk artists from all over. We have sent out our July box now. I'm packing a couple now. And yeah, it's a great way to find new bands. And support the ones that you already love, and then also just get some cool merch out of it. That's kind of the mission behind it. And then I was introduced to Jacques. I actually also co-run a blog, the After Hours Review, and I interviewed him, and it was like a cool little collaboration. We talked about our top 10 pop punk albums of, I think it was 2020 2020. Time doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
So yeah, I interviewed him, and then the co-founder Scott, who isn't with me right now, he was the one that initially told me about this idea, and I was like, this is cool. We should talk to Jacques about it, because he like see if it's there's some sort of market out there and everything. So he was one of the first to know about it. He was very excited about it, but was kind of like, I don't know how to it's a cool idea, but I don't know where to start. And I'm like, me too. This is a learning process for everyone.
Perfect.
Yeah. So because it as far as I've seen, there hasn't really been anything that's kind of like a monthly box catered to the pop punk niche and everything. So it was just a lot of firsts. So there's a lot of stuff that we had to do, and then I think 6 months later he was like, this is great. I'm so proud of you. I'm like, thanks, Pop Punk Dad. Wow. So kind of started out this idea in January, and now what is it, July now? Yeah, and now we have some cool things on the way, and it just, I don't know. I'm really excited for what's happening and what's to come, essentially.
Yeah.
How did getting a business started like that in the middle of COVID? Because I know that's when it kind of all came up. But how was that to kind of build something up like that?
I kind of call it a slight kind of positive blessing in a sense. With the pandemic, all shows stopped. Every sort of someone explained to me what happened with the music industry is that someone just kind of turned the faucet off completely during the very peak of the pandemic. So no shows were happening. You couldn't buy merch. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't see your favorite people live because it's just it's not safe. We had this idea, I think, in November 2020, and my co-founder was like, "Why? This is a great idea. Does we can support the artist in a unique way that isn't just go pre-save the Spotify link or whatever. It's giving back to the artists in a unique way. They get their merch purchased and also sent out to potential new fans. And then we got lucky with a lot of bands that were like, this is a really cool idea. We have a lot of merch that we weren't able to sell because the pandemic just kind of messed us up, and we couldn't sell merch that was specific either to the tour or a specific release that they wanted to promote on the tour. So they were like, hey, do you want this? I'm like, cool, I'll send this to California or something. So it was kind of a positive way to spin making a business through the pandemic, because we had a lot of time to kind of plan and then also kind of gauge what was happening with all of the artists that we've been working with. They've been giving us old merch, and then also being able to work with them for their releases when they go back onto tour and shows and everything, not just tour. So yeah, I think that answered your question, right? I tend to ramble, so there you go. So
we love rambling. It gets into a lot of crazy shit, so no worries about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's been good.
Let's describe some of the bands you've worked with recently. Also, just some of the ways you send it out, because it looks like you send it all out in like a pizza box.
Yes, actually. All right. So pause. I'm gonna
grab
find
one.
the box. Yeah, let's just grab one.
This will
It's
be
been-
for the visual on the YouTube
yes,
video.
exactly.
It'll
Yeah.
be perfect.
So this one is sealed. Oh, there goes my light. So this one is sealed, unfortunately, so I can't really show the contents on
Yeah.
it, but it's okay. It'll be a surprise. So it's actually a pizza box. That was kind of one of the things that as soon as I found out that I could ship out a pizza box, I was like, cool, I'm very gung-ho with all this idea.
Gonna say receiving a
so
pizza
yeah.
box in the mail seems like like a mailman dropping it off, just like, is this an
Like, what is
actual
this?
pizza?
I actually sent out a couple of orders, I think over the weekend, and I had a couple of like, let's say older people. They're like, "Are you shipping out pizza to USPS?" I'm like, "No, it's no." So I've
Just the
had that
box.
question a lot. Yeah, so the large box, it's $55 plus shipping, and in that you'll get vinyls, CDs, shirts, hoodies. I think with this one, a couple of them have like shorts with pockets in them, which is like sick. So that's that one. And then I also have these smaller Chinese takeout boxes, which contains like smaller items like stickers, pins, face masks, all that stuff. Yeah, a lot of it we tried to. I kind of pride myself on like just building up the brand as much as I could before we actually launched. So with all the like takeout themes and everything, I just wanted to like get it all like really like top notch before we officially launched. So the pizza boxes was definitely important, I guess, to being a part of the aesthetic and everything. So that's that. As far as the bands that we've worked with for our first month, I actually reached out. There's a couple of bands that I've kind of been like friendly with, whether it's been through interviews and just kind of like working with them. I also do photography, just kind of all the other 500 things that I do.
Of course.
I initially contacted a lot of the bands that were in the first box. I was like, hey, like, I didn't want to like, I always feel weird kind of like reaching out to bands or brands, just like being like, hey, we talked like 5 times, like help me out or something. I was like, so I don't know. I tried to come through it through like a kind of like professional lens, like, hey, this is me. This is the idea. This is what it is. What do you think? And I've been lucky where everyone's been like super gung ho and on board. Our main like headliner feature, Keep Flying. I was working with JJR, who's the Barry sax player, and he's like, fuck yeah, what do you need? Do you need vinyls? Do you need coins? What do you need? So it's really cool. And like, I think I sent him that idea in like January, and he was just like, what do you need? This is so cool. So it was just cool to have a lot of awesome artists that I like look up to and admire just be very gung-ho about it when I didn't even know that we could ship things out in the first place. So that was cool. The first month we worked with 408 and Brave Weather, who are from Orlando, Florida, and then Cities Never Sleep, who's from Duluth, Minnesota. Keep Flying, which is like from the northern region. Yeah. Again, I'm rambling. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question.
Fine. Yeah, no,
I love Keep Flying. I saw them when they were up here because they came to my town and said after they hit Chicago, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I remember we played it on our DJ stream, and Brian's like, "I only want to interview if it's the guy playing the sax in the
only way I'll
his
talk to
suit."
him.
Yeah, that's the only way we're gonna ever interview this band, apparently. So Keep Flying, if you are listening, you have to be in full
They
get-up.
are friends of Pop Punk Takeout. They're very like, I don't know, having them like super be like gung ho about it and just like promote the fuck out of it was like super amazing. And like I've seen them live too. I've seen like the Barry sax player like pull like flags out of his like mouth and just like other crazy circus stunts. So it's just like cool to like have him do like a bunch of promotional stuff and just like have the entire band be like super excited about it. When like initially I was like, oh my God, are they even gonna like respond to my email? Kind of thing. So it's cool. I've like made some like really nice like connections out of it and everything. So yeah, it's been a wild ride so far with Pop Punk Takeout. So.
Now, to get a little bit deeper into this, if it isn't too invasive, are a lot of these bands and like artists donating their stuff to you, or is it something that you have to like factor into like cost and production when it comes out to it? Because I feel like if other people want to start off like any type of business, obviously there's a lot, you lose money before you make money. That's like a basic business 101 class.
Yeah.
So how has that kind of been to like develop and like work around with?
Yeah. So with every band that is featured, we work out a merch agreement, whether that be I buy their merch directly from them or we do something exclusive. For example, with Keep Flying, they were coming out with a release Survival, and they were nice enough to give me one of the first like 20 out of 150 of like exclusive vinyl for a decent price that we negotiated. And then after that, it was like a different kind of vinyl variant. So it's either that where we'll have like different like merch agreements. At the end of the day, I want every band to be able to contribute, but also get something back out of there. Kind of just as a way to support artists. As you said, I'm not really expecting to make a profit off of this anytime soon. I think one of the beginning pillars of this was that I just want to be able to like support the artists that I really, really love, and then like give it to people who think that would really like it, but also be able to financially like support these bands. And like it would have been during the pandemic times, but now things are coming back to normal, but still being able to support them in a unique and fun way. So all of the main bands, we either buy merch from them directly. We also have a couple of different merch and vinyl printers that we work with. So we'll either do some like unique design with them. But at the end of the day, we try to make it fair for everyone that's involved.
I can imagine a lot of bands. I mean, I think we've found too, just like trying to do interviews, right? Like not even asking for actual physical product from somebody has been, like people are fairly open-minded to just hanging out and like doing something that I think everybody knows that there's not a ton of money in the music industry, period. And even less for people on like this end. And a lot of just our good graces of each other, and building that community is like the main transaction. The main currency is our kindness and our friendships, and being like, hey, I know Keep Flying, and that baritone sax guy better be on the pod. That's the only way we get guests, is just by calling out their suits and their instruments.
I can't believe that could be like an ask. Like if you ever watch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, they're like, you have to have a weird ask, and that's going to be our weird ask. Is that every time we email somebody now, we're just going to be like, you need to have this weird thing, or this specific person doing this very specific thing. Otherwise, we are absolutely never speaking.
Yeah, I totally feel that. I think even like other bands that I've worked with, they're like, oh yeah, ask this band, tell them I sent you. I'm like, this is so okay, sounds good. whatever gets me to them, I guess. Yeah, so I agree. There's like a weird kind of friend or transaction. I don't want to say exposure, because I feel like exposure is such a like a triggering word in the music scene.
I was gonna say it like is exposure, but it's also I think we've talked a lot about how, I mean, the pandemic kind of did this, but it was also kind of, I think, transitioning beforehand too, is like the world, the currency of it is not so much money anymore. And so like that word of exposure is a negative word. Like you shouldn't be asking somebody to get paid in the currency of exposure, but building a community and having a smaller audience, rather than thinking like, I need to be the biggest band in the world. I need everybody to listen to my music. I need everyone to buy my album. It's more like I'd rather have the hardcore fans at every single show who are like friends, who are people I know, who are people I like, who are people who like me and want to support me because I'm doing something that they really love. And I think a lot of bands, musicians, people like even in our position are like, I'd rather have 10 people that really love what I do and then have 100 people who like don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what I've noticed with these takeout boxes, is that for every band, they're going to have their own kind of circle of people. And there's been like hundreds of people that I announce a band and they're like, this is really cool. And it's just some small band from like Wisconsin or something, so it's cool to like be able to like dive into those small like little groups and networks and everything, and just kind of connect them all into like one big happy pop punk family, I guess. So
Yeah.
And there's also like so many of those little bands that like are really good. I've also found that people just are way more open-minded to liking shit now. It's beautiful. I absolutely
It's
love
awesome.
it. People just want to like stuff. I'm like, thank you. Please like more stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's like with each box, like I try to make each, or we try to make each box kind of as far reaching as possible. So all the bands that are contributing to each box, they're from all over. We're lucky enough to have a Europe and UK liaison, so she's kind of working on the whole outreach to like just bring more people on. So it's just being able to. I just like went on a rant and I kind of like don't know where this train went.
I was gonna say you have to change the name from Pop Punk Takeout to Pop Punk Takeaway if you're in Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be
You
like,
can
"What the
just-
hell's Takeout?"
They can just say, they're like, I had to get this deep dish ordered from Giordano's and Luminati's. They said they'll freeze it and ship it. Listen.
Yep, they
and
ship.
then nobody would ever know.
Good. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, now I remember what I was saying. We try to pick like as eclectic and diverse bands as possible, but they also kind of work together. They also kind of work kind of like a show. Like they all would like work together on their own bill and show. But at the end of the day, you might find a new band that you may have never heard of, and that's actually pretty great. And I have a cool little shirt or a little pin from them, and I think that I don't know, that just feels very fulfilling to me. So
Absolutely.
Do you think that you guys would ever transition to doing something more like, I don't want to say in real life because you're doing this in real life, but like having something at
real
like
life,
shows? No, we're in a different dimension, Brian. Come on.
the pizza box is a lie, guys. Don't worry.
But like maybe you go to a show of a band that you're featuring, or like one of the like primary bands you're featuring, and you're like, hey, we have this, or if they would bring it out on tour with them and you have limited amounts, would that be something you would look for, or would you just kind of stick to the subscription box thing? Because I know there's been a lot of people saying like subscription boxes are dying, but I see so many come up on like my TikTok in my algorithm, or just say like, hey, I just made this new subscription box, and people are like still really into it from what I've seen.
Yeah. For the in-person stuff, we're actually going to be vending at Four Chord, which is I think it's in PA. It's in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're actually going to be vending there, and we're going to have. Didn't want to spill my drink. Hundreds of these kind of like little grab bags. That's the plan, is to have a couple of little like grab bags where it's going to be kind of like what we would do online, but in person. So we would be selling them in person. And then for shows, whichever ones I can travel to, for Keep Flying, I'm going to be there for their Survival release shows, which I'm very excited about. Scott and I did speak about potentially doing like a takeout tour, which would be kind of like Warped Tour, but takeout version. But I think at the moment we're focusing on building a brand, building a community, building just an idea. Because I think we started officially in like May or something. So a lot of it right now we're focusing on just like building a community and just like as much outreach as we can. The goal would definitely, I would love to do like a Warped Tour version of what we do, where we bring back all the bands that we've worked with and just do a cool little, not Warped Tour, but takeout tour kind of thing in like New York and Florida and all that stuff. So yeah, well, we'll see what the future holds, but definitely in terms of, we're definitely looking for more like in-person kind of things that we can do where I can like throw takeout boxes at people and just like merch and stuff.
Hit them in the head with a pizza box.
Yeah, just be like,
yours now.
just make sure wherever you are, you can do it. Because when I walked in Pride for my work before, they're like, you can't throw things to the audience, you have to hand it. I'm like, well, that's not fun. They're like,
oh, well,
you
that's
get fined.
like,
and I'm like, I want to throw things at people though. Like, where's my fun? Where's my fun?
Yeah, I'll try not to throw them because like the merch, some of the merch can be very like fragile. One of my biggest, like I was doing like a packing thing on TikTok, be like, oh, like what's in this box? And I didn't realize that there was a whole kind of community of like USPS packers. They're like, those vinyls are gonna get damaged. Like you need to pack them and stuff. And it was like 30 comments. I'm like, where did UPS TikTok come from? Like, this is crazy.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, there's a community for everything.
I was about to say that's like a
Yeah,
big.
but for the record, I'll be very careful. I won't be throwing merch at people. Like, don't worry.
Relax, you USPS stands. Relax.
Yeah,
okay.
move.
Like,
It was
are you?
crazy. I'm sorry. I was talking to Scott about it. I was like, because we were both like, oh, like this. I think that TikTok that I made, it had like 20,000 views, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe packing stuff is, I don't know. I just thought it wouldn't like look cute on camera. That was on me. I'm
Mm.
sorry, USPS TikTok. But I was like packing all the vinyls and the shirts, and I'm like, look, this is what you get. This is what we ship international. And people are like, those vinyls are going to get damaged. And I was like, so like for every video that I do, I'm like, disclaimer, this won't be packaged like this. I promise. I care
It's
about
for
this. I
the
promise.
video. Everything on the
I
internet is not true, y'all.
I wonder if any of them like downloaded it or tried to stitch it, and they were like, "I can't believe this is how you package it right," and it's like,
I'm gonna
what
get
is going on
canceled.
here? I'm gonna
Like,
get canceled because I'm not packing vinyl right by the USPS
I have to
people.
make one of those like YouTuber apologies. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best.
I was watching a video earlier where somebody was making fun of like something like that, basically, and they're just like, "Yeah, no, it's fine. I tweeted an apology earlier. Like, no, we're good now." It's like,
We're
"Ah,
like,
Everyone
I'll
got
tweet an
fined for 2
apology.
weeks.
Note
It's
that.
fine.
Yeah, we're good. We're
Exactly.
set."
We're good now. We're all set. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting to do. We're talking too about like how are we going to go back into like humanity, real world, all this stuff, and like transition into like the internet into the real world, because I feel like a lot of people. I think it's obviously a benefit of having things delivered to you, and I don't think we're ever going to stop wanting stuff to arrive at our door or have that like. There is a very big dopamine hit that comes when I see a package at my door, like. Damn, the serotonin's working today. It's like I get it and I go, that's not even mine. Like I see Amazon package for somebody else and I go, and it's not even
You're
mine.
like that Scott Pilgrim meme where you're like sitting by the
Yeah,
door. It's like, what did
exactly.
you do? Like, I just ordered it. Like it's here.
You
Exactly.
just ordered it. Yeah. But it's like obviously that will never go away. I'm sure people will want to see something real fun, at their door and like going picking it up and like opening it up and seeing what comes that month, obviously. But it is like this struggle of like, are we going to stay on the internet? Are we going back in person? Are we going to do stuff in front of other people? Like, are you seeing that now that the world is maybe everybody's moving out back into society? I say it like that. It's like, dude, we're in America. We've been in society, but
Yeah.
obviously it's more people doing more things. More things are available now. Are you seeing it's like still growing? It's still becoming like this big thing even now that the world is expanding?
So again, let's say that the pandemic was a blessing for us. But we kind of launched in a really funny time where like the restrictions were lifting and then like tours were announcing and everything. So on one hand, it's been kind of like weird to kind of navigate that because I mean, obviously, I don't want to like stay inside for like 6 more years. I would hate that. But I think not to toot my own horn, but I think the idea is unique enough that most bands that we've been reaching out to and like working with, they love the idea in that even if they do go on tour, if they do have shows, a lot of these boxes are going to New Zealand and Australia and the United Kingdom, and a lot of these smaller bands won't be able to tour there. So the idea that a lot of these smaller bands will have their merch halfway across the world and they probably won't have the budget to go and tour there, but they'll have like people that are supporting them is it's awesome. It's cool. And I don't think that will stop for a lot of bands that they just want to get their music out there. And I think merch aside, people want to get their music out there. I think this is just a bit of a more unique way to get it out there because it's one thing to kind of promote Spotify streams and everything. Anyone across the world can stream your music, but it's another thing to get someone to buy your physical stuff and wear it and everything. I I feel confident in that we can continue growing and becoming this big kind of movement. And then especially with the monthly boxes, I don't know. I always look at BarkBox and like Lootbox and all those things. They always have, pandemic aside, they've always been very strong, I guess, with their brand and what they do monthly. So I think following that model, I think people will enjoy it post pandemic. And then at the end of the day, like you get a 408 or a Brave Weather shirt, and then you happen to see them live. Like, I don't know. I think that's sick that someone would be able to get a shirt that they got from my brand, and they'll see them live and then have that shirt because they got it from me, you know? So yeah.
Also, getting your shirts into the hands of people in the UK, it does feel great. I will say that too. But also, like, that's the only way, like, you grow there. Like, now all of a sudden there are people in the UK who are like, hey, we need you to come here. And then now all of a sudden a tour becomes closer than if you were just like, hey, I hope people in the UK are following me on Spotify.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's kind of that tangible kind of, you know, confirmation that like someone has, you know, your merch, or someone's like has, you know, listened to you or something. So that's cool. And then, yeah, as you said, there's more of a possibility that there's a chance to go, because I don't know. I don't know much about Minnesota bands and how much they would want to tour in Australia or the United Kingdom. But, you know, but it's just having that kind of like, hey, you know, these people have this random person in like the United Kingdom has my shirts, and, you know, hopefully they're aggressive on social media about like standing them. But yeah, like you said, there's more of a possibility of like going there and like making that all possible, even after the pandemic. I know touring and stuff in the United Kingdom is a little hard for United States bands because of the 2-week quarantine situation, but I'm sure that'll be different in like a couple months' time. But yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah, not on wood.
Yeah, I know. I just want to go on vacation to a lot of places, and I'm like, yeah, maybe that'll happen again someday. I can't imagine like I have to travel for business. I'd love to be able to travel for business, you know?
Right. Yeah. We've been fortunate that we've had a couple of kind of offers for, what are they called? Festivals, where we can vend there. And it's been to even places in the United States that I've never been to. So it's cool to just be able to like experience that state, and then also be able to go there for business and, you know, the tax write-off, as everyone
we
wants
love
to do.
that.
Love a tax
We
write-off.
love tax write-offs. So yeah, but no, it's cool. I think with restrictions lifting, there's a lot more opportunity for us to grow and like be there in person, and then also just make more connections, and then just bring the music to people and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how have you ever gotten like bands like submitting to you versus you reaching out to them? And if you do, how could like potential bands or other brands that you would want to work with that are in this pop punk scene, how could they reach out to you and do that?
Yeah. So I didn't want to admit it, but TikTok has been very great with finding
Love
bands.
that.
It's funny. So like I help out with bands in terms of, because I'm in all the like Facebook groups. It's like pop punk networking group, new pop punk. So I'm kind of I know like kind of who to reach out to and everything. And I have a couple of bands that I just kind of like I like have their Spotify links and kind of just like shoot them out into the world. I think years ago I was very resentful of TikTok. I'm like, oh, it's the Gen Z app, it's known, whatever. But yeah, I made a couple of like things on there, and it had like 20. It was seen by 20,000 people, and there's been a couple of bands that were like, "Hey, like I have merch. Like what can we do?" And I'm like, "Hey, email us at info@poppunktakeout.com." And then it's up to the bands if they want to send stuff. I'm not gonna say no. We've actually got, but yeah, so we've had a couple of bands that just like have donated merch to us, which I've been very grateful for. So that also kind of what makes each box a little bit unique. So you have the 3 or 4 main features, but you'll also get kind of like random stuff for like a Canadian band, or like I keep saying Minnesota, like California band or something else. But yeah, so we've gotten a couple of like things here and there. We don't really ask for specific numbers, just kind of like, hey, if you want to donate, like that's cool. I've gotten CDs, little small vinyls, like 7 inches. So yeah, if people are down to just kind of contribute any merch, they can email us at info@poppunktakeout. Just kind of like send us an EPK on like what you guys sound like. And I guarantee you, I will send you to maybe not New Zealand, but like all over the world and everything. That's kind of what I've been doing. I'm just kind of like, all right, this one's going here, this one's going there, and everything. And then if we do consider you for, so we will take like donations and stuff, but if sometimes we'll usually like reach out for kind of like main features for like a later year. For example, At a Time, they're from Florida. They were nice enough to just give us a couple of different items for our PR boxes that we sent out to like blogs and labels and stuff. But we definitely want to work with them again as like a main feature. So that could entail exclusive merch from like collaborating with us. But yeah, so there's definitely a lot of ways to kind of just work with us. But we're always very grateful for donations. I'm not going to be like, hey, give us free shit, whatever. So, and I guess it's also nice because I don't know, I don't see any other people kind of just like grabbing hundreds and hundreds of like items of merch. So like
True.
just like hoarding them. So yeah. But yeah, if people want to give us like some stuff, that's cool. And then we're definitely also open to just like collaborations with everyone. So yeah.
That's like the most like free, like no real too many strings attached, really. And it's like just nice to like hear there's other people doing
Exactly. Yeah, and like I'm in the business of just like, I find this band, I want other people to listen to it. That's kind of like I come from a very like core of like I just want people to hear this new music. And if I can send it to you in a pizza box or a small rice takeout box, then like that's cool. So not a bad way to go about it, I guess.
Yeah. When you're thinking like, all right, I'm going to send this band here, or I'm going to send this band here, like, what are you hearing in the music that like makes you want to send something to New Zealand or to Australia or to the UK or just to Minnesota, which I'm going to keep coming back to now because it's the only state that matters apparently.
Exactly. Minnesota rules. No, so what I usually do for the larger boxes, I'll include at least 2 shirts, one vinyl, at least 2 kind of like smaller, like physical copies of something, so like a CD or a vinyl, and then 5 to 7 stickers. So I try to do that at random, so I won't try to like, especially for the ones that I've donated stuff, I'll try not to use them like at like consecutively. So I'll try to like randomize it a little bit. And then it also makes each box a little bit unique. We actually have one person that got they ordered one box, but they also won one of our giveaways. So they're going to have 2 completely different boxes of just like a bunch of different bands and everything. So I try to randomize it as best I could. It's not really region specific, and I usually don't really look at the labels until I like paste it on the back. Gotcha. So, but yeah, that I try to make it as like random and like as random as possible, I suppose.
You're not like, this is a band that I need to break in New Zealand. They need to be, all the Kiwis need to hear this.
This is my main prerogative right now.
Yeah, it's like I want to break Brave Weather in New Zealand. They need to know.
Yeah, they're going to New Zealand now. I try for the feature bands, like it's going to be guaranteed that they'll be going to New Zealand or Minnesota, I guess. But definitely for the ones that I've just kind of gotten a random hodgepodge of items, I'll definitely try to mix it up between each boxes, so it's kind of unique in that way. And then also there's kind of more of a chance that they're kind of spread out in a way.
Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of variety no matter when you're ordering or where you're ordering or all that. You're going to get a lot of variety with it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it.
And then can you talk about some of the other like featured bands and just brands in general that are coming up for Pop Punk Takeout?
Yeah. So right now it's what is it? It's July now? Yeah. It's it is July.
We're recording this episode a bit earlier because we're, there's no such thing as time and we're on schedule, and there's just, we just post things when they post.
Really it's just like I think that's Lala weekend, so we're just kind of
also that. Also we'll be at Lollapalooza. Yeah.
All right. So at the time of recording, we have a collaboration with a PR company, Whoa That's Fresh PR, run by amazing people. I've been working with Stephanie Maximo, I think that's how you say your last name, and her awesome team. They've provided us with a lot of fantastic artists that they've worked under. Right now, we've announced Wavy Trees, Glow in the Dark, For Lack of a Term, and Rivals. So bands from all over. And then our kind of main feature that we've been waiting on announcing, and I finally got a confirmation that I can announce it on Friday, July something, that MXPX is going to be the kind of like final main feature. So they're going to give us a couple of like cool stuff from there. And it also coincides with a single that's coming out featuring Rivals. So it all kind of like ties in together, which is awesome. That I'm really excited for, just having like a really big kind of like original pop punk band just like be on the second box, which is awesome. And then August, we're going to be working with Smart Punk, who is one of our kind of merch contacts. I've been working with Matt from Smart Punk, and he literally texted me. He's like, "Hey, so like, I really want to print some like reusable utensils and some pizza cutters and like have Smart Punk on them. Like, is that too like out of like is that too like on brand for the theme?" And I kind of read it as, "Hey, I have this really cool merch idea. Is this too cool of a merch idea?" And I was like, I was so mad at him. I'm like, absolutely.
That is that is so on brand and on the nose. It hurts, but it's so good. I will say I went to like a college touring when I was in high school, and they gave us pizza cutters because they're like, you're gonna need pizza in your dorm because you're gonna have to like cut it. Didn't
And
go
like it's
there.
like one of those things where it's like you don't think you need a pizza cutter, but it's like when you need one, it's like you don't have one, and then it's like, can you imagine just like, you know, you get one of these pizza boxes with like merch, and then you have a pizza cutter, and you just like, I don't know, it's like
It
it's
has
cool.
multiple uses too. It could be a multi-purpose tool if you really need it to be. You know, it works.
You just like as a weapon. It's no,
Yeah.
See?
In a home invasion type situation, you got this pizza cutter.
Hey,
Exactly.
nobody who's listening to this podcast use it as a weapon for like.
Yeah, I don't condone violence. Sorry,
There's-
that's
that is not-
Social Club does not condone the use of this pizza cutter as a weapon to protect
this is the
yourself from the
heart
event of a
attack
home
ban.
invasion.
Thank
This
you
is the
very
heart
much.
attack ban disclaimer of selling our knives to people. Don't hurt anybody. We're not
Please,
assaulting
please
you.
do not. I don't want to be liable. Please. That's great.
Fine, this isn't recorded or put out to anybody, so no one will know.
Exactly. That's another thing that I kind of wanted to mention was that every box you can definitely expect to see shirts, vinyl, CDs, and stickers, but with every band comes with unique kind of merch items. For example, the WTF box, we're getting like little rolling trays and everything because they're very 420 friendly, but they can also be accessory trays because all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've gotten like bottle openers and like face masks and beer koozies, and then some other kind of like crazy and like pins and everything. So you'll definitely get shirts and vinyls, but you also get kind of different things each month. So it's kind of unique and fun, and you won't have like bajillion clothes like all the time. So
I feel like that's also a covert way for people to be like, I got a rolling tray in this monthly
Oh,
subscription.
what?
Box.
What is this for? I don't even know.
Yeah, there's oh man, I don't. Isn't that crazy?
This is so crazy. What's this even for? I'm gonna look into it.
exactly. Yeah, and then you look up the band, and then boom, then you get Spotify playlists and Spotify playlists, not or plays rather. There you go. That's what I'm looking for.
And now all of a sudden you're a pothead.
And
disappointing your parents.
But
again,
then you
don't.
got new tracks back there. You know what? You're good.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, like 420 friendly, but you use the accessory tray however way you want. It's
use
just
it at your discretion. Use it to your state's discretion or under what just do what you need to do. Do what you need to do.
Do what you gotta do. You want to put pizza on there? That's totally fine. Or like small little pizzas. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Just,
Multi-purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Multi-purpose little trays. It's great. So that's that's August and September. So that's really cool. Those are the collaborations that we have. As we mentioned before, Jacques Lamour. We've been sponsoring Pop Punk and Pizza Pod for the entire year. So kind of like all that's been happening. What else? I think that's all I can really divulge in these next couple months. Just so stick around and see what other awesome bands we have.
More surprises forthcoming.
Exactly. And we will be at Forecourt, as I mentioned. So definitely like check us out and all that. Might have like small little boxes that you can get up for grabs. That won't take.
Will you be attempting to come out our neck of the woods at Riot Fest?
I definitely tried to get a vendor spot there, but I think it was all filled up. So I'm very sad. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll just go as like a regular person, but regular people tickets were sold out too. I was like, dang.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a weird year this year, just because.
Yeah, they put a cap on it because it never sells out. But the city of Chicago was like, hey, in general, you have these restrictions, except for Lollapalooza.
For Lala.
Because that's a whole thing. That's a whole other thing.
That's money.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like my co-host of my blog is definitely gonna like tell me about it, because he definitely told me about it, I think either last year or like a year and a half ago. He's like, hey, buy tickets. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, the pandemic, I don't know. And now it's like I waited to like the last minute to not get anything, which is like but next year definitely.
Yeah.
We want to see My Chemical Romance anyway, so that's
absolutely
good.
Yeah. That's the one.
I would definitely suggest. I know I was talking with Matt from Smart Punk earlier today, and he said that he'll be at Riot Fest. Maybe throw a few his way.
Yeah, I try to like
do to either of you in this podcast episode.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think I messaged him. I'm like, hey, can I just like join on your table, please? He's like, oh no, we're gonna be selling hot sauces too. I'm like, okay, I guess. So, but no, we're definitely gonna be throwing some stickers his way so we can like throw them at people consensually, I guess.
Stickers are much safer than vinyl to throw at somebody.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's totally
we can walk up and also consensually throw them at people.
Yeah,
perfect. That'd be sick.
Gotcha.
All right, good to know. We got some merch throwers over in Chicago. That's great.
It's really interesting to hear all of these like unique merch ideas, because I don't know. I mean, hot sauce is pretty much like a given now. I think that's pretty much everybody's doing that, and you just brought that up. But then like just I don't know, just outside of the box kind of shit. Not to take out box. Sorry, I don't know. I put that together in my brain, and I'm like, oh, stop it.
Outside the box.
Yeah, but it's just like, yeah, I love how there's like people writing books and people making pizza cutters and all this stuff.
I saw like this new record label just out of nowhere because I liked the logo that they had. And one of their things was like little notebooks, like not built anything, but like notebooks of the cover art. And I was looking at it, I'm like, that's really cute actually. And it was only like $5. I'm like, that's cute because everybody needs a little notebook to write things down in. Or if you're sitting anywhere and you're like, I'm very sad, let me go journal real quick in my little notebook.
I need to write my lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to say what I feel.
Yeah, and like there's definitely like I guess the easiest way to kind of like just print merch is through shirts, but I think it definitely benefits the band to just have like cool little items if it's within their budget, obviously. But it definitely helps a band stand out just having kind of like unique items that they can offer and everything. Even pens too. Everyone needs a pen. Yeah. Just like have a little one like that. And yeah, so we've been really lucky that we've been working with some awesome bands that are open to kind of more unique merch items. Not that the shirts are bad. I love the shirts. They all like have awesome prints.
You need the shirts. You need
the shirts.
One
Everybody
additional thing.
Needs shirts because you have to rotate through them. I have more than I have probably like 4 drawers worth of band shirts or radio station shirts because of my work. And I'm like, but I've already worn all these. I need more. I need different ones. I need variety.
I need variety. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Yeah, it's cool. It's been a fun time, and just like being able to find kind of like different merch designs and just like have that kind of array just all over is awesome. So
it's hard to talk about it because I'm like, you throw out ideas and then all of a sudden someone's going to be like, oh, I'm going to do that. And then all of a sudden it's not unique anymore. I'm like, hot sauce is like the thing now where it's like everyone's doing a hot sauce. I know we need to do a hot sauce, but it's like everybody's trying to do it.
A coffee bean too.
Coffee bean, hot sauce.
It's coming up with their coffee beans, but they're like roasting it themselves, which is
that's cool.
Yeah.
That is on them. That sounds sick. I'm excited to try it, but like we are not roasting our own coffee beans. So that makes them unique.
There you go. Exactly. I know I'm trying to be in the talks of there's a venue that's local. I'm from Long Island. I don't know if I mentioned. But there's a venue here that's kind of has been standing all throughout the pandemic, Amityville Music Hall, and they did this really cool collaboration with Vans, where they did kind of Vans sneakers with like Amityville Music Hall inspired and everything. And I kind of want to message the venue person, be like, hey, do you want to do that again, but for pop-up takeout?
Do one more.
I know it's like exactly what you did, but like shoes are so cool.
Yeah.
So
do one more.
Yeah, please. That'd be great.
We have
I don't know. I feel like shoe sizes are more complicated. At least with shirt sizes, I can just kind of like
right.
have like 6 different sizes, but with shoes, it's like there's like half sizes, and you're just like, so.
Yeah.
But it's okay. In the future, we'll figure it out.
We have this complete nonsense idea to make
The
Emo
swords?
Social Club prayer candles. Like
I've actually seen that pop up like pretty like
Oh,
not
no,
as yeah, no,
there
I
was
mean,
like
I don't know.
we
the
have
bird
to
is my
jump on
homeboy
this
ones.
right now.
I know. They're like, we were just talking about it because our friend made some My Chem themed candles for us.
Yeah, I think those are the ones that I saw. It's
yeah.
like,
And so like we're like in talks, just like, we should do our own candles, but they should be like Mexican prayer candles, and we should have us drawn like patron saints, real elaborate. Why am I thinking this? Like, why are we doing this?
We
it'd be
could
so expensive. That'd be awesome, though.
I know.
We could have just done the swords.
We're thinking Emo Social Swords, Emo Social Club.
Swords, that'd be sick. Oh my god.
It'd be
So
basically the Ren Fair.
exactly.
One of my friends is working the sword booth at our local Ren Fair. So listen, it might happen.
It might happen. Listen, it's great.
Square up at the sword booth.
That'd be awesome. Just have like 5 exclusive ones. That'd be awesome. With every like 20 purchases, just have like a small like dagger or something.
Oh my god.
And it could be posed as like a veiled threat or something. It's like, why is the Social Club just like threatening me with this merch?
We actually, this is us igniting a fight with all other pop punk emo adjacent podcasts. We are going to come to fight you
Jock.
for the best pop punk and pop punk and emo
Jock,
podcast.
we're watching you. We're gonna send you a sword.
Jock.
Very
shit.
Jock,
Catch me
I need
outside,
you to
Jock.
drive up. I need you to drive up to like Gurney, Six Flags Great America, basically, and I need you to square up at the Ren Fair with the swords.
Wow, this is a call out, Jock. If you're listening.
Yeah. Friend
I'm gonna
of the
tag him
pod.
on Twitter, and he's gonna like be like, "Yo, what?"
Yes.
Like-
He's gonna message me like, dude, so like, are we friends? I'm like, just like send him a sword.
Hey, we're all friends here. It's all in good fun.
Could you imagine
But
getting
who
a
is
sword from us in the mail, and you're like, "Are we friends?" But
Like unprompted, like you buy
Yeah.
like an Emo Social Club shirt. Like it's not like in the description or anything. It's not in like the packing list. It's just like sword. Like very mafia style.
This is a giant box
Or a
for a
sword.
T-shirt. Oh my god!
Wait, why did I have to sign this? I've never having to sign for
Yeah.
a shirt before.
Why is this in the post office? I don't understand.
Why did a guy wearing a full-on like black mask, black headgear, and black like kimono show up at my door and hand this whole package to me? Also, I'm wearing the T-shirt when we square up at Ren Fair.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Oh no!
Here's the thing though, like that to me is exactly how you break a band. Is like, hey, like this guy showed up at my door, handed me a sword and a T-shirt for, I'm just gonna throw out a band name now, Keep Flying. Like, look, Keep Flying, sword showed up at my door. So now all of a sudden I know this band, Keep Flying. I'm never gonna forget him.
And he has his sax while wearing a crazy suit all at once. Like, what else are you supposed to? You just have to be like, okay.
Just like I've accepted the challenge. I don't know what the challenge is.
Yeah.
It's like very Breath of the Wild style. They kind of just plop you into like the cliff, and then you have to like expect to figure out what to do. It's very.
I don't know, man. Like that's sort of like meme stuff to me. Like I always see bands posting just actual memes on their Instagram, and it's like, yeah, fine, whatever. But you're not a meme page. You're a band. You're a musician. But if you give a band sword to somebody, like that's IRL memes, and that to me is going to keep that band. That's an IRL meme. It's going to keep that band
just
talking.
Need every band to transition them just stealing other people's memes to being the memes. They have to become one with all the memes.
All right, bands. If you're watching this, top tip: send people swords.
Top tip: get a sword, send it to people.
Make sure you disclaim that, God forbid, somebody, if Florida Man happens, it's not your fault.
Oh yeah, we don't condone violence, but
We're
also
not using the
send your
sword.
fans some swords.
The sword is entirely for promotional materials only. We're not saying you don't go
try to
out
be-
with
It's
it.
a dull blade. It's a dull blade. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
don't
We're
run
not
through the
Kill Bill
streets.
Up in here. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, this is.
Listen, I get it. If the Cubs win again somehow, some way, can't bring it out in the streets.
Oh
Keep
my
that
God.
shit at home. Keep
Yeah,
that
just
shit at home.
exactly.
Man
Don't bring a sword to a sword fight. Like, come on.
Man in Wrigleyville carrying banned sword hurts nobody except himself.
Oh no.
Hurts the pride and spirit of Chicago.
It's the pride and spirit of Chicago. And if there's one,
And that's how you get 20,000 streams on Spotify.
I'm saying though, like,
Who the fuck is this? They're gonna be like, you did this for them. No one did shit for us. First,
no bad press. No bad press.
Everything is good press.
Everything is good press. Oh yeah, that was the band whose sword was used in that no damage done sword fight in the middle of Wrigleyville.
Listen, if I saw a headline like that, and I was like, huh, so they have unhinged followers. What do they sound like? Like, I would have to know.
Not gonna lie, it's not because MGK like makes pop punk music at all. It's because he dates, what's her name? I think he dates Megan Fox.
Yeah.
And I think he was allegedly kicked off of a Tech Nine tour. I don't know if you guys know Tech Nine.
Yes.
At all. Okay.
So he was on it, but he was like doing some crazy shit according to Tech Nine on that tour.
Yeah. So I don't know. That just kind of makes me want to, like, I mean, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But I don't know what I was going with this. My logic with MGK is like, I don't know. He's a very polarizing person. But for me, it's like, you date someone like Megan Fox, you kind of just do like the extra side quests. And if being kicked off of a Tech Nine tour is like your side quest, then, you know, like, go for it.
MGK is on his extra side quest mission.
I think like TMZ reported today that Megan Fox was like in an interview and talking about her and MGK. She was like, yeah, we hung out and I did like this mushroom
ayahuasca,
like, really hard. Oh, ayahuasca, like,
ayahuasca
trip thing, and like I went to hell and all this. I was like, bitch, what?
Yeah, and now you want to be like, who's this MGK guy about? And then you get 30,000 streams on Spotify. Like, it's all just.
And then you listen, and then you see him, and you're like, you know what? This all makes so much more sense. Like,
I understand the aesthetic. This is great.
MGK is in the post game now. Like,
he's
already completed the main quest. Now he's in the post game. He's just taking ayahuasca with Megan Fox, putting out pop punk music. That is my favorite fucking metaphor for MGK's music and his career right now. Fucking beautiful. He's in the fucking post game.
People like always like, because like I'm in the business of pop punk, obviously. So people are like, so like, what do you think about this like new pop punk stuff with like MGK and like Youngblood? And like every time someone mentions MGK, I always think of Megan Fox, and he was kicked off of a Tech Nine tour, and that's all. And like, I don't know if he meant that, but that's just where I'm at right now. So yeah, basically buy swords. That's
buy swords. Just buy a sword. Join the post game.
This entire section is buy swords.
Yeah,
exactly. Join the post game credits. Buy some swords.
These notes are gonna look so fucking funny when you read them back, Lizzie. It's a lot of good stuff in there. We're almost at an hour. I want to make sure we have time for your plugs, where everybody can sign up for it, where everybody can find you guys on the internet. Obviously, we already shouted out the email address if people want to submit, but we can throw that out again too. So yeah, we'll have you toss all that out.
Cool. Yeah. So as I said, we're a monthly merch box featuring pop punk. We have some cool collaborations on the way that I've already mentioned, and then some that I can't really say because I'm on like my own kind of NDA and don't want to spoil the surprise. So if you want to see what's happening, check us out at Pop Punk Takeout. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and then you can also check us out at poppunktakeout.com. There you can see like all of our bands that are being featured that month, and then where to subscribe. You'll get your merch in a pizza box, or if you want to do the small one, a small little Chinese takeout box. Need I say more? And yeah, and then if you're a band, if you wanna be a part of this movement, definitely email us at info@poppunktakeout.com. And yeah, join the party. We're a lot of fun, I think. So yeah, and also if you want to do some custom swords, we can definitely figure that out.
we're gonna figure that out.
I don't know if they'll currently, but we'll figure it out.
We're looking up smitheries as we speak. We're finding our forgers, our forged in fire. I'm literally
texting Matt now. I'm like, all right, so this band from California wants some swords. How do we figure this out?
Hey, Matt, weirdest emails. You know pizza cutters? Actually, scratch it. We need fucking swords.
It's
Yeah,
a better pizza
all
cutter.
right, just like make it shorter and like make it sharper and like this, or not sharper. Sorry, we're not condoning violence. But more like elongated.
Yeah.
Keep the hilt part. Just make it more like.
Yeah, just make it like a little pizza dagger. You could be like, it cuts the pizza, but you look more badass doing it and slightly threatening. But you're not going to use it on somebody. You're just cutting your pizza
There you go.
like
Exactly.
a sane adult.
It's like a letter opener, but for pizza.
There you go.
So now imagine you're in your home, right? And you've put a pizza into the oven and it's finishing up. Now you don't live alone. You have roommates, you have a significant other, you have a partner, you have family there, and nobody's home. But then all of a sudden the pizza's done. They walk in the door. There you are in the kitchen, katana in hand, just like ready to just slice the fucking pizza up. That could be your entire life.
Are you taking the stance too? Like, are you like getting ready? Like, okay,
you don't
I'm
get
in, like,
a
my
merch
stance.
sword without also knowing how to use and wield a merch sword.
There you go.
You know form. You've seen some
here's
movies.
The thing. We're bringing in a whole nother demographic into the pop punk scene by doing this, and it's the
Samurais?
weeb community. No, the weeb community, and that can be good or bad. It just depends.
Depends how you use it. You know, your Tinder date rolls up with a pizza sword. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you know,
marry them.
It's gonna be one of those TikToks. It's gonna be like, if I came into your house with this pizza cutting sword, what would you do?
Exactly. Love it.
Surprisingly, this doesn't feel off the rails at all. I'm saying, like, bands, you gotta figure it out. Do something interesting. And this,
we're giving out straight up gold in terms of merch ideas. You just get on the train. We're here for you.
And they take this, you have to legally at least tag us on our social medias and let us know.
There you go. Yeah, be like, I saw that.
Did that. At this point, please.
This better not get back to us as like random like a police radio is like random stabbing based on a podcast and a merch box.
I mean, like, what were we saying before? Every promotion is good. That's, I mean,
yeah.
Like,
I'd be like, we have a disclaimer. What they do to it, if they are that unhinged, that's on them, not us. We can't help but that much.
Like, swords are getting sold every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
we
I'm unhinged.
not condone violence.
You don't see me going out using my pizza sword on other people.
I'm just here to impress my Tinder dates with my pizza sword. I don't know what you guys are doing.
What are you supposed to do? I've been inside for the last year. I don't have social skills anymore.
Yeah, we don't know how to do this.
Sword.
Do I bring my sword on the date?
Swords? Pizza? Everyone likes pizza.
What if I have to defend myself?
No, we're only using it for pizza. Not
the defense is just, the image of you having the sword is its own defense. You don't actually need to use it. But the idea that you are a sword wielder, the idea that you are called a sword wielder out and about in public, I think that would defend you without any, like, that's a deterrent. No one's going to fuck with you if you are just the person carrying a sword around.
There you go. Protect your fans. Send them swords. Yeah, basically.
They're not going to fuck around and find out. Like,
instead of we're gonna bring back defend pop punk, but instead of the gun,
it just has two swords on it.
Oh my god, merch idea! Absolutely nobody take that. Absolutely nobody.
If we don't do a collab merch shirt with both of our companies, just the fucking defend pop punk, and we just have two swords on it. Oh my god. I'm glad this is coming out in August, so we have enough time.
People now.
Yeah,
let's go.
We have enough time to make this happen before the thing comes out. So if you're listening to this, check out both of our websites because hopefully we have that fucking T-shirt up.
I'm obsessed. I'm gonna make a design right now.
Yeah,
as we speak.
We're bringing defend pop punk back, but better.
I love it.
You can get it in black or tie-dye. We're really throwing it back for all you guys.
Oh, we'll do it.
Oh my god,
we will do this. I love this idea so fucking much, and I'm glad that this is on the recording so people will know.
It's on the record now. We got this.
It's on the record, so legally now we have to do it. Otherwise, we're gonna get a massive text from people in our Discord, be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
And open notice that I don't have a T-shirt yet. Shit, all right, we'll get that T-shirt.
Can't believe
I haven't gotten my sword in the mail. What's going on with that?
Oh my god.
How am I supposed to defend pop punk at all these music festivals without my sword and my shirt?
While you were at a show, I was learning the blade to defend pop punk. Holy shit.
I want to
well,
start
all right.
the next obnoxious wave of
I know.
defend pop punk. I want it to be us. I didn't want it to be a combination of emo and not even the OG emo, so everybody's even more pissed off at us, and pop punk, so everybody is definitely pissed off at us. I want that.
Everyone
we've just created a whole new genre and niche and everything that people have to get on board on. So it's
God
great.
damn
It's
it.
awesome.
I hate it so much. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll end the episode there, even though we think we could talk about swords and merch ideas for another hour. So go check out Pop Punk Takeout. Go check out the website, subscribe, check out all the bands that they promote. Keep flying and, glow in the dark and coming up all with the smart punk and the MXPX stuff. Go check it out on the website now that this is out. I'm talking about this like a month in advance. So it's like, check it out because it'll be out. So now you'll know.
Exactly.
And hopefully a t-shirt is in the works. Hopefully that's gonna happen.
100% happening.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. Well, Veronika and by extension Scott, since you're representing him, we'll thank him as well. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for talking to us tonight. This was
Thanks for having me. This was awesome.
Blast. Yeah.